Hello! In today's video, we're going to talk about the I Am No Jedi Duel Pack, which is releasing this week, at least in the UK. So let's talk about that. I've talked about the I Am No Jedi Duel Pack before. I did a presentation a few weeks ago now, where I ran down all of the pre-orders for Shatterpoint that we knew about, and this was the slide in the box out here on the I'm No Jedi Duel Pack. So at that point, I said that the USA release date was the 5th September, that we didn't have a UK EU release date. Okay. I'll just go through what I said last time because it's all still relevant. Okay. So this is a cheaper release of two characters. Previously, they were released as a convention exclusive with a display base, which was available at UK Games Expo, was £100. Um, the price, I speculated at the time. I speculated the RRP was going to be $39.99. The RRP is $39.99. So now we have a UK release date out of nowhere, 27th of August, Wednesday, right? Now, so far, I've only seen this exact date on Board Game Extras. I'm going to talk about Board Game Extras a lot in this video. I want to be really clear. I do not have a commercial relationship with Board Game Extras. I wish I did, lads, if you want to send me stuff or kickback or something. But I'm talking about them a lot because they seem the most plugged in to Asmodee in the UK in terms of they are the single best conduit for information when it comes to release days, right? And they offer some of the cheapest prices. It's not necessarily the cheapest prices because you don't get free shipping, so you have to factor that in. But they are among the cheapest as well, and I did get a mispacked delivery from them once, but their customer service guys fixed it all up with no hassle, no cost to me. Sent out the correct product before I had to send the other one back, so can't complain. Um, so I do trust them, and they have priced it at 30 quid, which is the cheapest price I've seen. But again, you might get it cheaper from elsewhere once you net in the postage if you can get free post somewhere else because you're ordering a bit more stuff. Let's talk about the price. So $39.99 is the RRP. Let's talk about the RRP first of all. So $39.99 for the pack, which is, to be clear, we're just getting the two figures. Okay, so that's down the bottom here, just Ahsoka and Darth here, the two figures. $39.99. Now, the convention exclusive was £100. That means that AMG or Asmodee, we don't know who comes up with these decisions, are putting a value of £60, technically in a penny, on getting it early, right? The terrain piece. Now, let's talk about the terrain for a second. So I've put a picture here of on the display base / terrain piece here. This is what you get in the £100 version of this kit that was convention exclusive. One thing I've noticed, because I've been looking recently at unboxing videos to try and understand how the sprue was going to be sorted out. If you have the special edition of this with the display base, you do actually get two copies of the characters' bases, which is really cool actually, because it means that if you're using Ahsoka and Darth, right, or even if you're not using them, but if you want to use this as a piece of terrain in your game, you can slot in the blank molded bases and just have this little section of Sith Temple with the misfiring holocron thing, like, and you can have that on your table, and it works reasonably well as a piece of Shatterpoint terrain. It doesn't really do that much in that it's not got elevation to it, but it does have mass and places where you can't place miniatures, right? And it does have some blocking terrain, right? So it does do things. In that way, it's better than the Obi-Wan Darth Vader dual pack, where the diorama thing was like cut away at the back. And yeah, you could use bits of it, like you could use the little hover car as a bit of scatter terrain if you wanted to. Um, but the actual whole big thing had like cutaways around the back, so it didn't look right. This looks like a piece of terrain on the terrain gaming table, which is nice. although it's not likely to fit in with the larger aesthetic of your board, right? And then also in the £100 convention exclusive pack, you would get a foil treatment on the character cards. So not the drawback cards, which is what we often see get upgraded to foils, but the actual character cards with the rules text on. Now the problem with that is, like if you had the foil Obi-2 from the first Duel Pack, or the foil Vader 1 from the first Duel Pack, you've now replaced your cards with print and play rules erratas. And so either you've had to cover up that foil treatment or awkwardly like cut round and stick on, and you've got the weird little lumpy bits. So I would much prefer the foil treatment for a special edition thing to be on the draw deck cards, because the draw deck cards, they're just a picture, they're never going to be errated. And most of AMG's like bling that they do is on the draw deck cards, which I think is very wise of them. But they have started to do blinged up character cards for a couple of different things, which is a bit weird. So 60 quid for the terrain piece, the foil treatment on the character cards, and the fact that they got it early, it still seems like a lot. I think we're getting the cheaper pack now for $39.99. I think is a decent price. Now maybe that's the Warhammer fan in me that's like, oh yeah, 20 quid for a character. That's great. That's a really good value. I appreciate if people on the outside of the miniature wargaming hobby looking in, that doesn't feel like great value. But I've been conditioned by Games Workshop to think that like, oh, 20 quid for like Darth Vader, wow, like wow. If this was a Warhammer license thing, Darth Vader would be like more like 30 quid, right? So that's yes. And then of course you've also got the thing of this set is discountable because it's gone to retail, right? So actually from Board Game Extras it's 30 quid plus £2 on postage, so it's £32 something. So then you're paying like 16.50-ish per character, which is even less money, right? So I think it's a good pricing. It's a good deal. I think it's very, I think it's really positive news. And like I say, Wednesday, 27th of August, really soon. It's really weird to me that, and again, this is because I'm kind of a Games Workshop guy. I have been since I was 11 years old. Games Workshop might now communicate everything. At least you know stuff. AMG and Asmodee, stuff just seems to happen. I literally found out about this because I follow Board Game Extras on Facebook. It's funny because a lot of my brief aside, a lot of my real life friends are like, oh no, we don't use Facebook anymore. Facebook's just for boomers to read about things. And it's like a surprising amount of miniature gaming stuff, right? Especially when it comes to Shatterpoint, but 40k and Kill Team as well. A surprising amount of miniature game stuff thrives on Facebook. I don't know what that's about, but it's true. Separately, because I want to make the video a little bit longer than 8.5 minutes, while I was doing the research for this video and seeing who was carrying it at what shops, what price, what dates they were saying, I noticed this pop up. This exact set of screenshots is from Darkstar Games, where they've said that the You Cannot Run Duel Pack is discontinued, and the High Ground Terrain Pack is discontinued. And in other places, they're simply showing it out of stock. So that is interesting. Now, there's certainly a lot of You Cannot Runs out there in the wild because it has a tendency to rot on shelves, right? Its RRP was $89.99, right? Nobody wanted to pay, or very few people wanted to pay $89.99 for it, and you can find it sometimes for 60 odd, right, in different places if you look for it. I wonder if when it comes to when it comes to You Cannot Run, I cannot see a world. Vader 1 especially is a really key figure when people talk about list building for the Galactic Empire and also for the Republic. I cannot see a world where these models disappear I do think it's possible. Now, maybe this is me hoping. I do think it's possible that they retire this dual pack, which is last year's dual pack, right? And they release, and maybe they'd mention this during mini extravaganza, you know, a pack similar to the Ahsoka Tano one that we've just reviewed. This one, the one we're talking about, this one, right? A pack similar to that, but with these two characters, Vader 1 and Obi 2, out there. Now, I think that would be really cool and good for the health of the game, because it really sucks to get new players in and then they start looking and they're like, "What? Why is Vader 1 in this weird £85 dual pack thing? That's dumb." It is dumb. I think a lot of people who bought this without being in the target audience, and by target audience, I mean, like, obviously there is a subgroup of people when we talk about this dual pack and the newer dual pack who really want the thing. They want to build and paint and put the minis on the thing, and then they put the thing in the cabinet, and then they come into their workroom or their hobby room, whatever it is, every day, and they see the fully painted diorama thing on the shelf because they just flipping love Darth Vader. And they love from painting Darth Vader in jewels and having their two vignettes of Darth Vader dueling one of his most famous foes, either Ahsoka or Obi-Wan, will make them smile. And those people won't care that the miniatures are coming out separately. But if the miniatures for this are coming out separately, there are a lot of people out there that have Darth Vader and Obi 2, and then the terrain rotting, unpainted, and unbuilt in a box somewhere, right? And those people are going to be like, "Oh, why did I spend X, Y, Z?" Well, if nothing else, it's the same as last time. You got the hologram on the card, which you've now had to cover up for print and play, and you got it before other people, I guess. Now, again, this is just me speculating from the fact that this happens to have gone discontinued. Is there a world where they're going to tell us at Ministrav that one of the things they're going to say is they're going to say that you're getting a Vader 1 Obi 2 pack? I'd actually buy that. My wife has Obi 2, and like we have so Oro on the Discord is the friend I know that plays Empire. Empire not that popular in the UK. It's a weird thing. And so he split this pack with my wife, and she got Obi-Wan, because she just loves Obi-Wan, and he got Vader 1, and then I'm splitting the next one, the Ahsoka Tano Vader 1, so he's getting Vader 3, and I'm getting Ahsoka Fulcrum. But as I've got into Republic list building, increasingly I'm like, oh, it'd be nice to have an Obi 2. He just drops into the list. He's a good counter for Anakin Skywalker. Potentially, he does some interesting stuff. I don't really know that I definitely want to use him. I certainly don't want to pay 60, 70, 80 quid for him. And I have everyone else that I know that might want Vader 1 already has him. But if they brought out a cheap pack with him in, and it was 30 quid, I'd buy that, right? And try and flip the Vader 1 somewhere, right? Maybe, yeah. So that'd be interesting. The high ground terrain pack is a weird one as well. As you can see from the screenshot, AMG feel like they can charge a lot for terrain, and they can't, right? That's why the shop that I screenshot this from was like, oh yes, £74.99 marked down to £30.95. I really like the terrain for Shatterpoint, for the decent markdown price you can get. But the thing you have to understand about Shatterpoint, especially people watching this channel who are kill team people, potentially, like Games Workshop and Shatterpoint enjoyers, you don't need the official terrain for Shatterpoint at all, right? It's cool. It looks pretty good. It's functional. You don't need it. And a lot of people 3D print their Shatterpoint terrain. And you can even play a really decent game of Shatterpoint on Beta Decima from Kill Team, the Games Workshop stuff. Right, I have many times at Oro's house, and I've seen it done at tournaments as well. It's definitely a thing. So I don't think, yeah, I think and this could just disappear. And also, I'm vaguely aware that among the highly competitive tournament people, There's some question marks over how. I've never had this problem. I don't really understand it. People are like, "Oh, can you shoot through the door or something?" I don't know. Do you know when something's peripheral? And I've never had to encounter it because I would say obviously you can, but sometimes people are like, "Oh, technically, no, maybe." Now, is this the sign of them slowly retiring this set of terrain because they are, as we know, they're releasing the new Outer Rim stuff, which seems a little bit more reasonably priced as well. And maybe they want people to buy the Outer Rim stuff, and that maybe maybe eventually we're going to get a new starter box, maybe with different terrain in it, which would be cool. Although I'm not actually particularly sold on the one bit of Outer Rim terrain we've seen so far because Shatterpoint needs gantries. Like one of the defining features of how Shatterpoint plays is gantries, and it's weird to me if they come up with an official terrain set that isn't covered in gantries because people like their official terrain set has gantries, and the third-party 3D printed terrain sets have gantries, and people that are playing on Beta Decima because it has gantries. I don't really understand how you do Shatterpoint without gantries. Maybe that's me being small-brained. I just think you need to have gantries of some kind. They can be Ewok rope bridges, they can be laser bridges, they can be whatever, but it just feels like Shatterpoint requires some kind of suspended walkway, one way or another. What can you do? That's it. That's the whole video. You can probably hear from my voice. It's time to give out now, right? It is a shorter video today. I am still recovering from convention flu. This is how you know the GriffCon was a proper a proper tabletop gaming convention. I got properly ill. That's why there's been no videos over the past. That's why there's been no videos over the past couple of days. That's why I didn't do my live stream for the third time in a week. Yeah, I got real bad, like laryngitis, maybe. I don't know, a sore throat. Let's not diagnose things that I'm not qualified to diagnose. But I got really bad sore throat, lost my voice, got really hoarse. I'm really tired. I'm really wiped out. It's like, fortunately, I've got one more week off work, so before September, when the new academic year starts, to hopefully get back onto full power. So some of that, I do know that I'm neglecting Kill Team a little bit. I mean to do some Kill Team content. I mean to review those last few factions that I haven't reviewed, especially the ones that are going to rotate out soon. There's loads of really cool stuff coming. I want to do some Spearhead content, right? I'm actually painting at the moment Spearhead terrain, so it's not all Shatterpoint all the time. And I want to do. There's a new hobby challenge to launch in September. September the 1st, there'll be a new hobby challenge video as well. So loads of stuff to come on the channel. But this was just a quick and easy one because this news broke today to let me record a shorter video, 20 minutes, so that I don't completely knacker my voice, but then the channel doesn't completely die any more than it already has, right? So thank you for your patience. Thank you to all my commenters, subscribers, the people who are channel members and that pay me money every single month. Like, wow. Always blown away by your generosity. And a particular thanks to Alex, who is, there are tiers on the channel membership thing, and I vaguely expect people to be on the lowest tier when I join other people's Patreons and YouTube channel members. I'm always there. I'm like, yeah, you're cool. Yeah, I'll give you some money, but I'm going to give you the smallest possible amount because you usually find that on that bottom tier, like you get all the benefits that you care about, and that's kind of thing. So whenever anyone goes in the middle or heaven forbid the top tier, I'm like, wow. So thanks, Alex. I appreciate it. All right, thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and hopefully I will see you with another video at some point tomorrow about something. But that's the plan. Will we get that far? I don't know. All right, see you guys. Bye now. Bye-bye. Bye. 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 Bye.